For joining in on time. We welcome you to our Knowledge Enhancement webinar series. We call it Fundraising Friday. As you all know, danamojo is India's first payment solution platform designed specifically for NGOs. I'm sure you all know about the two features which we released recently. The online committed giving platform for recurring donations. And the other one is the QR UPI code for easy and very easy UPI payments. Now, I'm sure you all have explored this one and making best use of it. One more standout feature of ours, which I want to bring to your notice, is a feature which allows donors to cover the transaction charges. This could help you immensely in reducing your expenses towards transactional charges. Now, a humble request to put your video on so that we build an atmosphere of interaction and learning. Please put your video on so that you get the feeling of interaction. Thank you. Yeah, as you all know, today's session is about the integrated email marketing platform and how we can use it to have our donor communication in our regular communication. So we have divided this session into three parts. First part, we would discuss about donor communication, email specific channels. The second part, I would demonstrate how we can use our danamojo integrated email marketing platform. The third part would be Q&A. Any questions, I would unmute you all and you could just let go of all the questions and we would be more than happy to answer it. During the session, in case you have any questions, feel free to post them on the chat and we would be very happy to answer it. Without any delay, let's jump onto the session. Let me share my screen. Give me just 1 minute. I hope my screen is visible. Okay. Let us start the session. As far as I remember, that once Franklin Roosevelt told that any good relationship starts with a good communication. As we see in our real life, every relationship of ours stands on a strong communication. Strong communication, strong relationship. A little misunderstanding, and there awaits a major disaster, isn't it? Work life or personal life. Same holds good for our donor communication. Anything and everything that you do to keep in touch with the donor or to send out good information to the donor comes under donor communication. Just give me 1 second. My screen is, yeah. Yes, donor communication is any activity in which an NGO communicates with the donor, including the established donor or a prospective donor or a potential donor. And the core purpose of this donor communication is to build a strong relationship with the donor so that you keep the donor engaged with your good work. But why is communication important? What do I have to do with the relationship with the donor? Now for this, let's put on the hats of a donor and think of ourselves as donors. Now you have donated maybe 5,000 or 10,000 to an NGO which you thought did a good work. And in a month or so, you receive an email from the donor describing what the donation has made, what that donation was able to do changes in the beneficiary's life. How did it change? How did it touch a person's life? How do you feel? You feel happy, you feel excited, you get a feel of self-worth. You feel that you are making a change in the society. Yes, I understand these are intangible ones. You really can't touch it or weigh it or measure it, but really these feelings are there. These feelings are the motivation for the donors. It gives the feeling of self-worth. It spreads a good word about your NGO's work. This donor may go to 10 more people and then tell about the good work. It increases the credibility of your NGO's work. Now, what do I do with all these intangible things? They wouldn't give us donations, but on the tangible side, it keeps the donor engaged with the good work of the NGO, makes the donor feel a part of the NGO's good work. It retains the donor, and also next time when the donor comes for donation, there may be a motivation to donate a little bit more. It may drive more donations. Now, what do the stats have to tell about the donor communication? Why is the donor communication important? It says 71% of the donors say personalized notes from the nonprofit make them feel more engaged. There was a study conducted by Network for Good, which says the following: 41% of donors would donate again if they receive personalized communication on the impact of the support. 39% say that they would give again if they receive an email or text communication stating their impact. 34% said that they would give again if they received a swift thank you with their donation. Now, this thank you message is taken care by our danamojo, but the first 2 points are of importance over here. We really touch lives and make an impact, but we should also take care about the communication of these impacts. As we see, most of the donors look forward to such an impact communication. The strategies which help in retaining the donors are also hinting towards communication. That too, communication throughout the time, not only when we need the donation. Now here, I want to pull on a poll and understand what kind of communication are you following in your NGO. Please answer this poll. I hope you are able to see the poll. Yeah, I see that once in 3 months is the majority of you communicating with the donors. I'm very happy to see that you guys are taking the donor communication seriously. And also, I would like to stress to the point that we need more communication. We need to place more importance on the communication. I have one more poll now. I want to understand what type of communication do you do with your donors?
I need to see all this, yeah.
Yes. Thanks for your response. Now I here see that we do present the stories of our impact and also give updates. And I'm very happy to see that thank you messages and asking for donations take the last place over here. Going back to our topic of discussion. Yeah. Now, across the world, they follow a couple of retention strategies for donor retention. And now, out of them, these are the 8 strong strategies for retaining the donors to make the repeated donation and to retain the donors. Now, here we see that they are sharing your results, send donors a personalized thank you after each donation, provide your donors with volunteering opportunities, schedule donor-centric events such as networking opportunities, learn about your donors, their family, their passion, and their philanthropic needs. Connect with them through social media, have automated programs for reminders, and make your donor feel irreplaceable. Now, out of these, let us check out how many of them are related to the communication. How many of them are part of our donor communication? What do we see? We see that 5 out of 8 of them are related to communication. Share the result, send the donor a thank you message, do a networking activity, connect them over social media, and make them feel irreplaceable, show them that the NGO cannot work without them. They all are the donor communication. They all are the communication from the NGO side. Now, what are the channels which help us to communicate with the donors? Now, I want to know what are the channels which you use for your communication. Can you please answer this for me, please? Yes, the results are that 74% of you use emails and next 16% of you use social media, 5% and 5% each phone call and website. Yeah, that's an interesting result, isn't it? Now here we have tried to discuss a couple of channels with their pros and cons, the positive of the media and the negative of them. First, our website. Yes, our website is the first place to make an impression towards our good work. The updates or the news that we post on the website are always available. But the question over here is how do we drive traffic to our website? How do we give the publicity of our website so that the donor or the potential donor lands up on our website and sees our good work? The second channel is the phone call. Yes, phone call makes the donor very special, respected, and valued. But is this really feasible? How many calls can you make in a day and update the donor about your good work or ask for donation? It's very, very labor intensive. Along with that, with our pandemic situation around, all our work happens through phone calls or over the phone. Now, one more call from the NGO, I'm sure the donor is going to get irritated with the phone call. The next channel is social media. Yes, social media takes very less time to post, and it's also easy, time consuming, and it is very less time consuming and very easy to post. But again, the same challenge as we faced in the website. How do we drive traffic to our social media? And also, since we have a lot of options in social media, maybe Facebook or Twitter, it's very difficult to decide which post has to get into which social media. Maybe to tell a story, Twitter is good. Maybe to ask for donation, Facebook is good. So every post has to be, you have to decide on every post on which social media should it go, which can be very challenging and also leads a lot of time in maintaining all these social media. The next one is organizing events. I know this helps the donor makes feel special and important, has a personal contact between the donor and the NGO, but setting up an online event, sending them reminders, sending him invitation, and making sure the donor attends the meeting is difficult. Yeah, public events are not possible nowadays because of the COVID, but even online events are really labor intensive. You need to have a dedicated person for these events. Lastly, our own email channel. Now, email is very cost effective and very easy to send. It's also a speciality of this channel that you have a one-to-one communication with the I'm sorry. You have one-to-one communication with the donor, but at a scale. Every email feels as though you're talking to the donor one-to-one, but at the same time, you're talking to a lot of people. Here, a slight challenge which can be learned in the due course is making the email very attractive to the reader's attention with the subject line and little formatting on the email. Why email marketing? Why should we go for email marketing? There are a couple of things which we could find out. One is it's very simple. Very simple. It need not have images. It need not have fancy description. Just a simple text email with 3 paragraphs, 4 paragraphs describing your good work, maybe one thank you message, then you're showcasing your good work, and then some conclusion makes a real impact on the donor. Emails take very less effort. And also regarding the frequency, we think that one email from the top leadership of the NGO once in a month is more than enough to retain your donor and motivate him to donate more. Now, this one email in 1 month wouldn't take more than 2 hours of the person. So it requires very less effort compared to the effort required by other channels. Measure. Now, every email marketing platform generates reports and presents the performance of the campaign. Now, it may be in form of number of clicks, number of open message, number of bounced messages, and such things. But it gives you an opportunity to research on this report and then tweak your next campaign so that it yields better results. Emails make an instant impact. I read the email, I see a donate now button, I read a beautiful impact story, then I'm driven towards donating more. The impact done by email is in that instant. So we say that the email drives donations. Cost. Compared to the other channels, maybe the social media, maybe maintaining a website, maybe making a phone call. Compared to those, the cost of sending 1,000 emails at a time is very less. You draft a single email and you have a capacity to reach 1,000 recipients. Lastly, the global reach. I do not have any physical boundaries over here. I can contact the person sitting at that corner of the world as with the same ease of contacting my neighbor. So there is practically no global restrictions, no physical restrictions here. Now, what are the types of email? How many types do we have? As far as we go, we have 3 types of emails. Promotional emails, wherein we solicit donations or we ask for some help, we ask for volunteers, we ask for people to come up and help us. Such emails are called promotional emails. Update emails, wherein we send across the stories of our impact. We tell them that this is what we have done, so many lives we have touched, and so on and so forth. Lastly, the transactional emails. Once the transaction has happened, now we send them receipts or we send them ATG. Such times are called transactional reports. Now, what do the stats talk about email marketing? 67% of the NGOs find it very useful and just give me 1 minute. Yeah, 67% of NGOs find it very useful and considered it as most effective channel. Now, this is a research conducted across 10,000 NGOs in the US, and they found that 67% NGOs find the email marketing as the best way to solicit more donations. Percentage of donors motivated to give online by an email has increased to 40% in the last 4 years. We all have our emails delivered on our mobile these days. We all have become tech savvy, and it is going to increase year after year. And for sure, this percentage is going to go high because of facilities available just on the click, just at our thumb. Lastly, 68% of our online donors trust email addresses and websites that use the .org domain. We want to get this point ahead just to make sure that emails sent across from a Gmail or a Yahoo Mail or a general mail ID does not do so much of impact as sent by an email with the official email ID. Now, if I send an email using Gmail and I send the same email using an official ID, the impact made by official email ID is much, much more due to the creditability or other factors than an email which is sent through Gmail. Now, let us look into this simple example email from a Red Cross project partners coordinator who sent across about their good work to the donors. Now, here the first part is she says about how the donor's donation has helped. And also she says, I have learned you are always on hand to help. That shows that confidence on the donors. Second part, she talks about the work they have done in this since the last newsletter. They've talked about how they have managed the disasters and etc. Lastly, thanking the donors again and also concluding it with a strong expectation of continued relationship. So now, do you think that this was a fancy email or an email that required a lot of time to draft, think over, and frame it? No, it's just a simple email, a text email, but a very, very impactful one. Now, Danamojo gives an integrated email marketing platform along with other services. Now, the main speciality of this integrated platform is there is just absolutely no integration requirement or configuration requirement. You can access it through your NGO dashboard just with a click of a mouse. Now, if in case you had to go to an external email marketing platform, you would have to create a login, customize your profile, and then you are set to use the platform. But here, everything comes ready-made. So it is integrated with our dashboard. We have a limit of 10,000 emails per month. So I'm sure 10,000 emails are enough for any kind of email campaign requirements. As I said, there is absolutely no configuration requirement with our integrated platform. Now, again, if you had to use external email marketing platforms such as MailChimp or MailJet, it is a requirement for you to maintain the contact list. So to whom the email has to go. So once there is a new donor, you have to take out the contact details from the other sources and put into your contact list in your email marketing platform. But this is not required with our integrated platform. Whenever there is a successful donation through danamojo, the contact details are automatically updated in this email platform. So you just don't have to worry about if my email is reaching all donors or not. Be assured that it reaches all the donors. Now, as we will see further, this email marketing platform has a very simple and easy interface. You do not have to be tech savvy to understand how to email or how to send out the campaign. Next, once the email has been shot out, this platform prepares a report for you, which is very pleasant to see, which is very graphical to see, so that you can analyze the performance of the email and then make changes in your next campaign. Further, we will see these reports also. Yeah, shall we jump on to the demo? I will log into the platform and then we will draft a campaign together. I hope you are able to see the dashboard right now. So you can access the email marketing platform using this button over here on my left side, which says email marketing. And I'm logged into the email marketing platform. Note that I didn't have to enter any login or password. It is all integrated with our services. Now I am going to type in a new email. So I go to create and send new email and then click on create a new campaign. Now, subject line is a place wherein it's a place for us to make the best impression and first impression on the donors. So I type in a very effective subject line, and this is the name of the person who is sending the email. So I type in my name. This from email and reply to email comes built in with our services. This is the default email which has to be mandatorily modified by you to change it to your own email ID. So when the recipient receives the email, this is the from ID he sees. So here I enter the sender's email ID. And this is an email ID in case the recipient wants to reply to the email. So this is the email ID to which the email will be sent to. I hope this part is clear. Coming to this right side, wherein we have this normal text space, this is as good as a Word document wherein you could type and then get the email ready. Just copy. So here I have written a simple email. I am thanking the donor. I'm talking about what our NGO has done in the last few months. And then I'm thanking the donor, looking forward to the strong relationship. Our email marketing platform provides all the text formatting options as you'll see in any other platform. Bolding, italicizing, changing the font, changing the size, changing the color, changing the background. And with all this, we have good enough formatting options. Now I scroll down. I have an option to attach a file to my email. Now this file is, you could want to send a report or you could want to send a photo of your impact through attachment. Though we can embed the photo in the text of this email, which I will talk about in some time, there is an option to attach the file into the email. Now I'm all set to send the email. I save and go to the next screen. There was a space before my name, so space is not a valid one, so it's given me an error there. So I corrected it and I'm going to the next page. Now here on the right side, I have a preview of my email. I can verify with the preview. The best would be to send out a test email here. Here is the email ID that you have to mention, where you can see the testing of your email. So I send a test email. There comes a pop-up telling that email has been sent. Now I can get into my mailbox and check for the formatting of the email, text of the email. Once I'm satisfied, I come back to this screen. I select the donor list. As I have told earlier, this donor list is ready-made and contains all the donors in donor contact details who have donated to your NGO. And now, if everything is ready, I can send the newsletter now. Yeah, but now it is too late. It is late in the evening. Maybe donors do not want to see my email this late in the evening. So let me schedule this campaign for tomorrow morning. I want to send this email maybe at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. And then I have this facility to schedule it to tomorrow morning. So without you reminding, the platform will automatically send the email to all the donors selected. Now, as we see, we come here, we see that the email has been scheduled. Now, every email would have few part constant. The salutation, dear sir, dear madam, the thanking, the logo of the NGO, and the social media links. So instead of doing that repeatedly with every campaign, we can set a template that could be used repeatedly. I get into all templates and I can create a new template and then put in the constant part of the email, which could be reused again and again and again. So now for the constant part, I copy in the I type in the constant part of the email. I save the template. After I save the template, I have this option to use the template for my campaign. So when I click it, a new campaign is created with the pre-populated data. Mind you, none of these have changed. It is only the text of the email that has changed. Now, how about adding a logo of your NGO inside the email? Now, in order to put in a image, I have this icon over here, which says image. I click on it. Then I have this upload option. I choose the file. I choose the logo and I send it to server. We have to make sure that we send it to server so that we have the link ready over here. With this link, our platform shows the preview of the logo. How is it shown? Now I can change the size of this logo using this width. I can make it bigger or I can make it smaller. I can put in a border to the image, a big border or a small border. Now H space is horizontal space. How much space from the left side has to be left? I tell 10. And then how much from the right? I click on OK. I'm sorry, are you able to see my screen now? Okay. Now the image has come over here. Okay. Now I want to do such, I want to do a link such that when somebody clicks on the image, my home page of my website has to be opened. So the logo should act as a link to my home page. So what can I do? I'll select the image, click on the link over here, and I have this link here. I can enter my home page link over here and then okay, we are done. Now when the email is received and if the recipient clicks on this image, the home page or the link which you have mentioned in your link opens up. Again, if I don't want the link in the image, I can put it in the text using the same link option here. I will select the text which has to act like an anchor to the link. I will select the icon. I will click on that icon. And we are ready. Now here, since I have told, please click here to donate, it would be good to not put the home page, but in turn, put the link of your donation page. I can edit it and then I can double click on it and then put the appropriate link going forward. Now, this platform also provides one special feature, which is when the user clicks on that button, he will be able to send out a reply to your email with a fixed reply. Now, in case you are asking for volunteering or in case you are asking for some approval, you have to free your user from typing in the email. Instead, you could just you could just have a ready-made email. The user has to just click on the send. Now, how do we do it? I will click on the text which has to be an anchor, click here on the link, and I have an option of email over here. So this email address is to address, that is your mailbox address. Subject and the text. Yes, now if the user clicks on this link, a ready-made reply is ready and he just has to click on send button to approve it. Now with which the link looks like this. Since I say please click here to reply, would mean that reply text from to subject line, everything is ready. It is just that your recipient has to click on send. So one more speciality of this platform are the tags. Tags make our life very easy. Now one such tag is web version. Now these tags are placed in the square brackets and for your help, these have been mentioned down here. You could see web version link, web version. You could just copy paste it on the email. Now what does this do? This tag puts in a link so that your email is visible standalone as if you're looking it on online, not inside their mailbox, but you're looking at it online. One more feature which we advise you to have in your every email is unsubscribe. What happens with this unsubscribe link is it places, as you see here, it places a link on the email. When clicked, unsubscribes the user from the donor list. Again, you really do not have to do anything with respect to this, but the platform will take care of unsubscribing and not sending the future emails. Coming to personalizing the email, it would be more impactful if you address the donor by his first name. So in case you want to address the donor, you would have to write dear so-and-so or dear name, right? So it is not possible for me to send out name to every person like that, one mail after one mail after one mail. So our platform provides special feature of it. If you put name under square bracket, as they say over here, the platform automatically puts in the name of the donor, which is maintained in the contact list. Now, if the mail reaches somebody called Shubha, it would say dear Shubha. If it reaches somebody called Namita, it would say dear Namita. Now, again, there could be an instance wherein the platform doesn't have the name, though very rare. In case it doesn't have the name, in order to cover for that situation, we can write fallback madam. This means to say that in case there is no name, mention as sir, madam. So it reaches a mailbox whose name the platform doesn't know, then it mentions as dear sir, madam. One more and the last tag which we are going to talk about is email. This email tag is helpful in putting the email ID of the recipient on the text of the email. Now, in case you want to confirm to the donor that you have emailed to the right email, you could mention this. Again, for situation wherein you want to mention like I am writing to you on this email because this email has been registered with us. Again, it is not possible for us to insert every individual emails. This tag wherein we say email mentions the proper email ID of the user. Now, I have sent my email. It's all ready and I have sent. Now, I want to see how is my email performing? How is my campaign performed? How many have read it? How many have clicked it, etc. So once I get into see reports, or also when I get into all campaigns, if the email has been sent, I see this and I can click on it to see the report. Once I click on it, I have a very visually appealing report which talks about every aspect of the email. On the first side, we see here how many has it, how many mailboxes has the recipients, how many have received, how many have opened, how many have unopened, and so on and so forth. Now here it tells about the colors. Scrolling down, here it talks about the percentage, the same performance, but the percentage in terms of how the performance has been. Just give me one minute. Yes, here. Since this campaign had a better report, I pulled this campaign. Now here we see that the email has bounced from so many email IDs. This remained unopened, this opened, and this so many are the recipients. Scrolling down, the percentage of the opened, unopened, clicked. Again, we have put in, if we have put in lot of links on the email, that is unsubscribe link, subscribe link to your donation page, link to your web portal, etc. The performance of those links are shown here. How many clicks were there? How many unique clicks were there? How many of them did get into that link? All such activities are shown over here. Last 10 opened. Who are the ones who opened it? Which are the IDs who were really interested in your email? And then we could check how many clicks were there. Analyzing the data with respect to all these can give a lot of impactful result. Again, last 10 unsubscribed. How many of them unsubscribed and how many of them were not interested with your emails? Last 10 bounced emails. How many of them bounced? How many of them were not going through? How many of them marked as spam? How many of them felt that you're barging into their inbox and the email was not received well? Lastly, it also shows the breakup in terms of countries. Now, in case you have a lot of foreign contribution, this part may yield good place for research. It breaks down your email campaign performance based on the country. And that same thing is depicted here in a chart in the visual graphic model. Now, the tags which we discussed, the name. Here, if I write in this one, I just wanted to show you how it looks on the email. This is the received email which says Dear Namita, and it puts in my email ID in the place wherein I have used the tags. I have not put in my name, but I have put in the tags. Now, how do we maintain our donor list? We say, how do we add a new donor to the donor list? We have told that danamojo and our platform maintains it for us, but there are two ways wherein we could add new donors into the donor list. First one, when we have an offline donation, that is either a check payment or the direct bank payment, we could do a transaction on danamojo as if it has happened online by selecting the appropriate transaction method on danamojo and then sending the thank you email. The contact details of the donor is stored as and when the donation transaction is complete, not when a thank you email is sent, but as soon as the donation transaction is complete, the new contact is added into the contact list. The second method is adding a subscribe now on your web page. Now this subscribe now is just a short block wherein you have name and email ID of the person. And if the visitor is interested in getting to know you better, getting interested in having more information getting newsletter, then he would subscribe now. Now this subscribe now does not require a lot of coding or technical background. We also provide you this code snippet. I will send across this code snippet along with my recording email. Now this is a simple code that has to be put into your website so that the subscription form comes up. There's a slight change that you have to do. The marked part over here, the value XXXXX, has to be changed to the sendee list ID mentioned in your preference tab. Once you log into your dashboard and get into NGO information, there is this sendee list ID, which is a group of characters. You copy that list ID and you would have to place it in place of this XXX. Just that, and after that, you are good to go. There's no other change required. When that is done, we get something like this on your page. It's all set. Now the visitor can enter his name, email ID and submit. Once he submits, this message pops up. Again, this message does not require any additional coding or additional technical background. It is all automatic. This message comes up. Now on this message, clicking on back button takes us back to your own NGO website and does not require anything else to be done. With this, the name and the email ID is stored in your contact list of the email marketing platform. Nothing else to be done. Here is an example wherein the subscription form has been set up, and then this would automatically update the contact list. Now, few email examples, which have gone out from our email marketing platform. Few of the NGOs who have been extensively using our marketing platform. Here is Madurai Health and Leprosy Relief Center. They have sent a Happy Diwali wish email. And when I click on this image, it lands up in their donation page. Next is Tarun Bharat Sangh. Here, they are updating the recipients with their work during the COVID times. They're talking about numbers here, how many lives have they touched, other updates. Next is Sri Satya Sai Annapurna Trust. They are here inviting the donors for a webinar on some changes on Government of India's Sustainable Development Goals. But here is an attempt by the NGO to set up a community again around their work. They're inviting the donors to participate in their webinar. Lastly, this is Ratna Charitable Trust. As we all know, photos speak louder and more intensely than words. Here, they have just put in images about their good work during COVID times. And lastly, here is a testimonial from an NGO who has been extensively using our marketing platform. Okay, that brings me to the end of the session. Now, if you have any questions, please feel to unmute yourself. Soumya?
I have a question.
Yes, please.
See, when we do this email marketing, what if it goes into the spam folder? Is there any way we can, bulk of our mails that we send, people are saying that it is actually landing up in the spam, because at a time you are sending 100 mails or 500 mails or 1000 mails, it goes into the spam folder.
Right.
Does that happen in, because sometimes when I have, sometimes when we have done this kind of email, this thing through our Gmail thing, we not got any response. And when I discussed with some other NGO partners, they said that, all these mails land in your, in the recipient's spam folder.
Right. Let me, this is Dhaval here. Let me take that question. First of all, yes, it is very likely that it can land in spam folder. So there are two parts of why emails will land in spam folder. One has to do with some technical settings, and the second has to do with the content of the mail. So if you are using a software like MailChimp or Mailjet or something, there are various technical settings that have to be done to first of all prevent mail from landing in spam. And secondly, you can research a little bit on what kind of content generally will take you to spam. So if you for example, if your mails only comprise an image, for example, if your mails use the word free in the subject line, they have a bigger tendency to land into spam. However, whether an email goes into spam or does not go into spam is more of an art rather than a science. So it is actually very specific to every email, every person you send the email to. So it is possible that for me it may come into spam, but for another person it may not come into spam. Which is why I say it's a lot of art rather than science. The good thing with respect to our email marketing platform is that all those technical settings at least have been taken care of. So you don't need to worry about putting in all those technical settings like you would need to if you use a MailChimp or a MailJet platform.
1 minute, my internet connection went off little bit in the middle. So I could not fully see the entire this thing. I just saw you starting the email marketing platform. After that it cut off, and then I joined when you are showing the email content. So just one question. I have only one question that I will not disturb. Newsletters that we make newsletters in your platform, like or it can only be a mail?
Yeah, we could use this platform to send any kind of emails, be it newsletter or it is just for the purpose of mass communication. Newsletter is a kind of email only. So you can draft it, make it look like a newsletter and send it across using this platform. And also I would be sending across the recording of this session. So whichever part you have missed, maybe you can relook into that and then come up with a point. Okay, if you don't have any more questions, I would like to, I'm just sending across a feedback form through chat. So if all of you could take just 2 minutes and fill in so that we can make our sessions better going forward. Okay, thank you very much for taking out your time for this session. And as you know, we will be sending out the feedback form and the recording of this session. Please feel free to share it with anyone you may want to. And we look forward for your presence in our upcoming sessions too. Thank you. And I hope you were able to learn something new and this webinar was some use for you.